Good morning. 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 Good people. It is Wednesday, December the 15th, 2021. This is Wake Up with RayGque, brought to you by Best TV. You can find us YouTube, Best TV. You can find us at besttv.com. Wake Up with RayGque podcast. Make sure you subscribe to all of that dope stuff. But we're back in the building, baby. Back in the building, witnessing history. Last night, we got the good people already tapped in. Make sure if you want to watch the show, got to watch it on YouTube. Comment, interact, engage with us, all that other good stuff. Jay, how you doing this morning, my friend?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I always find it funny now that you tell everyone to watch on YouTube and subscribe on YouTube when it's the only place they can watch and subscribe anyways.
Well, I
so
mean,
we're tapping into the new audience.
Don't start. Don't start.
YouTube, but we witness history, baby. That's why
we got history. So I was texting you last night, and I don't know if I'm the only one, but you know those movies, like, and it's always Adam Sandler or what's the other guy's name? What's the other damn actor's name? Ben Affleck. They're playing in some betting movie where they've got like their last dollar and they're betting on a sports game and they're like watching it through some bar window. You know, like, oh my God, the Knicks need to win by. That was me last night watching Steph Curry. All I needed to do was get 25 points, man. And he's chucking up threes, bricking them left and right. Like, I literally felt like I was in a movie, just like my last dollar. I just mortgaged, took the mortgage on the house, betted on Steph Curry over, and he hit the under. I mean, you guys laughed at me with my Patty Mills pick, 14.5. Smashes the over, drops 30 points. I need Steph to give me 25, and he's laying bricks on the night that he's breaking history. He's laying damn bricks, building a house, man. I was so that's what betting does to you. It just makes you not even appreciate the good stuff. But the news and notes from last night, yes, the GOAT, Steph Curry, 2-9-7-4, broke it. Ray Allen in the building, Madison Square Garden. The stars were out, and Steph Curry, he took down the record, man. And what's crazy is, he's still got, 6-7 years left in the NBA. The fact that he's done it so quick is just impressive, man. It's impressive how good he's been, how lethal he's been from the three-point line. Cool moment to see. I don't think it rivals, the touchdown record in the NFL. It definitely doesn't rival the home run record in baseball. In your pantheon of accomplishments, of all-time record-breaking performances, I mean, where does this kind of rank for you? I'm even thinking like Cal Ripken Jr. I don't think it's better than that. Where does the all-time three-point record rank on the list of all-time great accomplishments in your opinion, Jay?
I think you're right. Pretty low, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I think because it was Steph, it felt bigger than it was. And to be fair to anyone who was watching, it was really stupid the way it happened. Like I did not appreciate the full-blown intermission in the middle of the game just to let Steph Curry have his moment. It was cool, but it was way too long, way too drawn out. He's hugging everybody. They didn't even really have like an actual timeout. And so I'm curious if you noticed this or not. I want to know if that's why the game started on time, because anyone who watches the NBA knows that their games do not start on time ever. They say they start at 7:30 and it starts at 7:50, 7:45, but that game tipped, I believe, at 7:32. And I think it was because they knew they were going to do this whole blown intermission. They did the little Under Armour commercial thing, which was cool, it was fine, whatever. But in my opinion, even as a Steph Curry fan, it was just too long. Like, it literally took the game and just the flow was out of it. The game had to basically restart entirely. It was a dope moment. And I don't think it would have been as impactful if it wasn't Steph. Steph is a guy who literally changed the way basketball is played now. He was at the forefront of that. And that's why this record is so cool. Outside of that, it's not a super big accomplishment. Like some guys, and I think Charles is one of the guys who talked about on TNT at half, there's going to be a lot of guys at the top of the record boards that no one thinks are very good. It's just because of the volume that they shot over time.
Yeah.
James Harden's fourth all-time in threes, which is insane, but he is because he shot a ton of threes. Steph is that other guy who can still hit 43% for his career, but does have a lot of volume, right?
What's crazy is Steph did it in nearly half the games in which Allen played. Like that. Yeah. That should just yes, there are a lot of people that'll be up there, but Steph getting it done as quickly as he did is what's so impressive. The Warriors did win that game, so they're 23-5, and they're dominating the Western Conference. I mean, they what's crazy is, I was thinking about it yesterday, Jay. The Warriors literally just took a year off. They were good. They took last year off, and then they come right back around this year with no Klay Thompson, and they're back. They're still the Golden State Warriors. Just shows you how good of a team that is that Steve Kerr has built. Shows you how good Steph Curry is, how well they play together. But just an impressive record. I don't know, how significant it is. I think more so because it is Steph Curry. But it was dope to see last night. You see, I'm in full USC regalia today. It's early signing day. So I had to show out for the USC Trojans, Lincoln Riley. I'm excited for the day. It's going to be a good day in the world of college football. But we got a lot of NFL to get to. I think there's some value to be had with some of these postseason awards. Teams winning the division, winning their conference. Who's going to make the Super Bowl? We're going to get into that right now.
Wake up! This is the Morning Run.
Run, Forrest, run!
All right, Jay, where we want to start?
What's up?
What are we going to talk about?
Let's start with the AFC because I think we have a good idea of what the NFC is going to be at the top. So let's start with the AFC where it's a lot more muddy.
All right, so the AFC title odds right now, the favorites to come out of the AFC are the Kansas City Chiefs at plus 225, New England Patriots at 3.5 to 1 at plus 350. The Bills, barely hanging on for playoff lives, but they're third best odds right now at plus 600, 6 to 1. Tennessee Titans plus 800, Chargers 10 to 1. Colts 10 to 1, Ravens 14 to 1, Browns 16 to 1, the Bengals 20 to 1, and the Broncos 40 to 1 long shot odds. The Broncos are 9-4?
No, I was gonna say let me just clarify because apparently I sent you the wrong graphic, the amended one. So every team like the Colts and below are 7-6.
I was gonna say
I did change it, but I was like, wait a minute, I must have either way. They're all 7-6.
I was about to say, wait a minute.
The Broncos are all 7-6.
I was going to say,
don't worry, I got you.
What the hell is this amateur hour? You got me looking bad here, reading this down. I was like, wait a minute. There's no way they're 9-4. So let's get this off of the screen. Remove. You take it and tell us what's going on. Since you set me up to drive like that.
The team I like the most right now is the Bengals. The main reason why is because they're 20 to 1. They're 7-6. They're one game out of the division lead. Obviously, if they do win the division, that will put them in a top 4 seed. Whether they can get a seed above 4, I don't know. And so that's going to be their biggest issue is that no matter who they play, they're going to play the Chiefs or the Patriots more than likely, clearly the favorites to come out of the AFC. So that's where I'm kind of like struggling a little bit is that even though the Bengals be the 4 seed, they could at least have a home game in the first round of the playoffs in the divisional round, but then they probably have to go to Kansas City or to New England. And that's really where the betting odds are not in the favor of these underdogs. As much as I like the Bengals, I like their prospects to win the division. They're not that far out of it right now. That's just where all these bets go to die. It's like you have to go through New England or you have to go through Kansas City. And I just don't know who's going to be able to do that. Like, I don't know if the Chargers can do that. They're 14 to 1. The Broncos, they're not going to do it. But I included them because, again, based on their record, they are in contention. Ray, where are you at with these teams? Because that's my biggest hamstring is I want to take the Bengals. I want to take a shot on the Chargers. But both these teams just have no shot of winning their division, so they're not going to have a top 4 seed. The Colts, on the other hand, being 7-6, playing New England this week, yikes, that'll be a tough game. They can win their division over Tennessee, again, to have a top 3 seed and a home game in the divisional round, I think is imperative to making it through to the next round instead of having like 3 straight road games.
I think the top is pretty accurate. I think it should be the Chiefs, Patriots, Bills. I think the Chargers at plus 1,000 at 10 to 1. They're playing good football right now, and Justin Herbert seems to be getting in a groove. I think that's the only team, below, odds-wise that I can really see making a push to win the AFC title. I think it's the Chargers. I still don't believe in the Titans. Are the Titans 9-4? I got to check because now
they are.
At this point, everybody in the AFC is 9-4. The Chargers are the only team. I think the Chargers had the best juice right there because I think
so. The big thing for them, right, is they do play Kansas City on Thursday, and that would obviously give them the divisional lead if they do win that game. They close the season with the Texans, the Broncos, and the Raiders. So if they do win Thursday, very good shot at winning the AFC West.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing with the Chargers. If they beat Kansas City on Thursday, that plus 1,000 is going to drop down significantly if they beat Kansas City. If they beat Kansas City with their rest of the season schedule, you might see a 500-point swing in a day with that game. Yeah. Literally from Thursday to Friday, you can see a 500-point swing from either direction. The Chiefs drop from plus 225 down to plus 550, down to plus 600. Chargers bump up. I honestly think I might put a little something on the Chargers to come out of the AFC. I just think that's where the value is. The rest of the season schedule, I'm seeing Rico say in the comments the Bills are frauds. The Bills they're just Josh Allen or bust. I mean, that's really what it is.
There's no value at plus 600. There's
no value.
Especially when they're going to have a road game. If they don't beat the Patriots and they don't win the division, they're going to have a road game week 1. And that's what I mean. Just not good.
Because this year with the playoffs, only one team gets a bye. Only one team gets a bye. The number 1 seed gets a bye. Can the Chargers? I'm think if they beat Kansas City, I mean, with their end of the season schedule, I don't think New England runs the table. I don't think they do. They got to play Buffalo again. I think this Colts game this weekend is going to be a tough matchup. I don't think they run the table. I think they are going to win the AFC East, and they're going to be a playoff team. Do they run the table? I'm not sure. I really think the value is with the Chargers. I kind of like it. I'm not going to lie to you.
So the only problem, right, is that the Chargers did lose to the Patriots, so the chances of them getting that number 1 seed are very slim because the Patriots would have to actually lose 2 games to get there.
Okay.
So they'd have to lose to Indy and Buffalo.
Okay.
But then they close with Jacksonville, Miami.
So this comment popped up. There's no way listen. How many times, Jay, you even said, right, it's not bad. He's a star. Blake in his prime was a star. Blake in his prime was a star. You can argue that all you want. Your opinions are pretty much disqualified because some of the things that you've said, from Steph Curry making 16 3-pointers to Alvin Kamara being the 101.
Okay, you can come at me for my NFL takes, but my NBA takes, they are accurate.
They're pretty bad.
I told you that Russell Westbrook is a terrible player.
They're equally as bad.
And only yesterday did you agree with me. We didn't even talk about how Russell Westbrook's going to get traded this year. I left that off the show sheet just to save your Lakers the embarrassment.
It's rumor and speculation.
It's not a rumor in December when he's chucking bricks all season long.
It's rumor. We speak in facts and we don't perpetuate hearsay and fake news on this show. Justin Herbert, if you were starting a franchise right now, if you're starting a franchise offensively and you get your choice of any quarterback in the NFL, what quarterback are you taking today?
Oh, I'm taking Mahomes. But
you're still taking Mahomes?
I think that's easy. I think Mahomes is the easy number 1.
I don't think he's an easy number 1. I don't think he's the easy number 1. I think I legitimately think you can make a case for Josh Allen or Justin Herbert. I legitimately think you can make that case.
Okay, but the thing
I don't think it's easy. That's all I'm saying.
Has won it though. He's won it. I think that there's a lot of value in that.
He has
victory,
won it,
right?
Yeah, he has.
Herbert or Allen? I prefer Herbert personally. I do. I just think he's a better player than Allen. But like we talked about yesterday, Allen has a higher ceiling. Does that matter to you? I don't want Allen to be the quarterback that he is every week because he has to do too much. We see the same thing with Lamar Jackson. It is so difficult to do that for 21, 22 straight weeks. You just can't and hold up in the NFL. Justin Herbert has a better supporting cast, and that makes his job a lot easier. Does that mean that Josh Allen couldn't do that with the same supporting cast? He probably could, but I still think I like Justin Herbert a little bit more than I like Josh Allen. That's just my personal opinion.
I don't know, man. I think it's closer than you're giving it credit for. I was not the biggest Josh Allen fan coming out. Was not a good thrower coming out of Wyoming. But, dude, he's, like, when I watch him play, I'm like, yo, like, he's one of the best players in the NFL. The fact that he's doing what he's doing with the supporting cast around him. I mean, outside of Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, Gabe Davis, Dawson Knox is fine. They've got no running game.
It's a lack of running game, right? They have a good receiving core, but the lack of running game makes his job so much more difficult. I
think it's closer. I don't know. I think the easy default answer is Patrick Mahomes. Most people will say, "Oh, it's Mahomes, easy." Well, I don't think it's as easy. I don't think right now the way Mahomes is playing, he's got to figure some things out, man, and that's why I'm not as confident in Kansas City winning the AFC. Bruning, I love you. When he hones in on his guys, he is like a heat-seeking missile. There is no getting off the trajectory. He is all in.
Hey, leave Bruning alone. He's in mourning right now because his Browns are in COVID protocols.
He is just I've never seen focus as concentrated as Matt Bruning. I mean, he is just right there. But I think there's an argument. I mean, Herbert, sure.
Yeah.
Herbert, yeah. Somebody says Josh Allen, fine. You say Patrick Mahomes.
How about Lamar?
No.
Yeah.
No. I think it's those three in a tier of their own, and then it's Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Dak, Burrow.
No Kyler, no Dak, right? I don't think.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't take Kyler. I wouldn't take Dak. I wouldn't take Lamar. I wouldn't take the only other quarterback I think that could fit inside that top tier mold, which we don't even know what the hell is going on with said quarterback, is Deshaun Watson. I think he's the only one. I think if you remember at the beginning of this year, at the beginning of 2021, I mean, it was Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson. Like that, those were the two names. It were those two names because we saw Deshaun Watson lead the league in passing in Houston with nothing around him. No DeAndre. Yeah, that was, if you go back to January, February, before all the news broke about whatever the hell he was accused of doing, it was Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes. Like, that's what it was. Even after Justin Herbert's great. I think it's those three in a tier, and you rank them, flip them however you want, but I think those are the three best building blocks at quarterback in the NFL. Let's take a look at the NFC title odds. And here we go. Wow, the 49ers at 16-1 at 7-6. Interesting. Cowboys plus 600. Rams plus 600. The Bucks are the favorites at plus 225, followed by the Packers at 350, and the Arizona Cardinals at plus 500. NFC title. Who's going to win it? If you're asking me today, I think it's Tampa Bay. I don't know if there's any value here anywhere, to be honest with you. 6-1. I guess you can lay a little something on 6-1 for either the Rams or the Cowboys if you have conviction there. I would not be betting the Cardinals. I just don't believe in Arizona. I've been saying it all season. To me, they're the Buffalo Bills of the NFC. You know, they are the Buffalo Bills of the NFC.
Good comp.
It seems like they should win it. They probably could have. I don't know. I don't see it with Arizona. Green Bay is the team. And they're still missing Zaire Alexander, you know what I mean? And they're not all the way. David Bakhtiari, other offensive linemen are going down. Aaron Rodgers is playing again at MVP level. If it had not been for the COVID immunization, ivermectin situation, I think there's a good chance Aaron Rodgers will win it. I don't think he will. I don't think they're going to give it to him, regardless of how well he finishes the season. But what he's doing, and I kid you not, as I'm watching the Sunday night game, when one of the defenders from the Bears sacked Aaron Rodgers early in the first quarter and did the discount, and I saw Rodgers look at him, I was like, this is not going to end well for Chicago. It's not going to end well. But Aaron Rodgers is playing fantastic football. That's what he is. He's an all-time great quarterback, one of the top 5 quarterbacks to ever play the game, in my opinion. But I've got to go with Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They are just, we continue to talk about it. Offensively, you cannot stop them. There are too many weapons, and the quarterback is just too good. He's too good at 44 years old. So at plus 225, I think they got it right. Cowboys we got to deal with the Cardinals. I can't do
So to
it.
me,
I can't do it.
I think the only value, if we're just going to give them a slight value, it's the Packers, right? You're getting a little bit of juice on a Bucs team.
A little bit.
You're gonna, but again, they're still neck and neck for the NFC. And I think if they do like get that number 1 seed, which is very possible, the Bucs could drop a game. Obviously, the Packers could drop a game too, but they're right there, right? There's always that opportunity. The Rams, I don't know, man. I don't think that they're going to win the NFC West. At that point, they're a wild card team, so it's like they got to go through everybody just to get there, which is going to be tough. The 49ers is interesting, though, and the only reason why they're on this graphic is because they're 16-1. Every other team, Minnesota, all these other crappy teams are like 40-1. But the 49ers, for some reason, are 16-1. I don't know if it's just the betting markets like them or, some of the really sharp people think the 49ers do have a shot at winning the NFC. I don't know, but I think the Packers are really the only team that can challenge the Bucs. It was the Packers who actually lost to the Bucs last year. So I think we'll see what happens. But for me, it's the Packers, the Cowboys, Rams. I don't know. We'll see. Do you think the Rams can win the NFC West? Because that's kind of where I think you have to lie. And then you talk about MVP odds. If the Rams can win the NFC West or potentially even the NFC, that's the only way that Stafford could win MVP.
No, I don't think he's got a shot in hell. Like, even if he wins the
Really?
West. No. He's got to win the NFC. He's got to beat Tom Brady. It's narrative, man. I continue to talk. It's the story around the player. Like there's what's the compelling story here? And there's no better story than the oldest player ever to win the MVP. Probably had a case to make for him winning it last year. I know a lot of people said what he did last year, he should have won it. I thought Aaron Rodgers deserved it. He played fantastic. But no, I think I would not encourage people to put money on Matthew Stafford to win NFL MVP. NFC, I do think it's Tampa Bay or Green Bay. You're gonna have to go through both of those places in January. And whoever has to go to Green Bay and play at Lambeau in January, good luck, because that's probably not fun. What's interesting here is you've got, if you really look at this, man, of all the teams. I mean, you got three dome teams, Cowboys, Rams, and the Cardinals play indoors. Tampa Bay in January is going to be fine. It's Florida. And San Francisco is probably going to be quite pleasant as well in January. The only place that's inclement weather for the NFC is Green Bay, opposed to the AFC. Chiefs in January, probably not fun. New England in January, probably not fun. Buffalo, same way. The Titans, I don't really know Tennessee's weather, so I can't. I guess it'd be normal. Chargers, beautiful. Colts indoors. Ravens, not fun. Cleveland, definitely not fun. I mean, it's that path through the AFC in January with weather could impact some of these teams. But let's see the Super Bowl odds now. Based on that, the winner, the leaders to win the Super Bowl, Tampa Bay and Kansas City, still top. This is what shocks me, man, that Kansas City is still viewed so highly in the eyes and the minds of odds makers. I don't know. I watch them play, and it's sort of like they're like the Cowboys of the AFC. Right now, the defense is carrying what we all thought is supposed to be an explosive offense. I don't want to speak out of turn. It seems like Hill, Kelsey, all have just lost a step this year. Like they've all taken a step back. And maybe it's just a byproduct of how the defenses are playing these guys. But even when I was watching the Cardinals, man, like DeAndre Hopkins looks like he's lost a step. And I know he's been injured, so maybe the injury has something to do with it, but he did not look like the nuke of old. Like he wasn't creating that separation. He's got random ass defensive backs covering him downfield that he would normally just abuse. I don't know. Chiefs at plus 500. No thanks. Where's the value at right here with Super Bowl? I mean, I don't even think plus 500 is bad. 5-1 is not bad for Tampa Bay at all, in my opinion.
Yeah. So the reason why I refute your point about the Chiefs is because it's a lot easier for the Chiefs to get through the AFC than it is for the Bucs to get through the NFC. Even months ago, and as we've been looking at these Super Bowl odds over time, the biggest point I always made to you was that regardless of who you think can win the AFC, it is a much easier path to get through the AFC than to get through the NFC. It's just the way it is, right? You look at all these top teams in the NFC, you have 5 teams that are 9-4 or better. and 3 teams that are 10-3.
Yeah,
right
but
now.
I don't think that makes it. I don't think by the byproduct of their record, it makes it easier to get through.
No, but the teams that you got to play. That's why they have higher odds.
No, man. I mean,
look at the board right now. You have all NFC
in the
teams
AFC. You got to go through New England, Buffalo. You have to deal with Josh Allen. You have to deal with Justin Herbert and the Chargers. You still got to deal with Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes.
Your wild card, but think about your wild card game, right? Your wild card game is against, someone who's not that good in the AFC, but in the NFC, you may be playing the Rams in your very first wild card game. So you think about the 4 seed. The 4 seed's going to play the Rams more than likely. So if that's the Cowboys, do you want to be the Cowboys playing the Rams week 1 in the divisional round? That's tough, man. Tampa Bay, they got the bye, so they're going to be or whoever wins the NFC. Going to have the bye, but that's why all these NFC teams are at the top. You got the Bucks, you got the Packers, Cardinals, Rams, Cowboys, all in the top, and then down lower you have those AFC teams. So to me, the value's with the AFC because people don't even think the AFC is going to win the title. Clearly, if you want to put a bet on the Colts or the Chargers, like you said, you think the Chargers are valued to win the AFC. So clearly they're valued to win the Super Bowl if you think they can win the AFC. 25-1 to just make it there. And I told you in the AFC is if you can make it there, you have a shot no matter what. If you don't make it, you don't have a shot. But if you can at least make it to the dance, you have a shot of winning. It may not be easy against one of those NFC teams, but you have a shot.
You're making better. You're doing a really good job today. You're making better points. I'm glad we got you back on track from the beginning of the show. But you make some good points. So where's the value at in your opinion? Is it the Chargers at 25-1? Are these to win the Super Bowl or make Super Bowl?
No, this is to win the Super Bowl. These are to win. That's why there's all the NFC teams at the top, right? But that's why I'm saying there's not a whole lot of value in the NFC. Like you could take even for the Chiefs are pretty good value because I think they'll probably win the NFC. Patriots same way. If you think the Patriots can win the AFC, then you go that route. But the NFC, you're getting 5-1 on the Bucks. You're getting 6.5-1 on the Packers.
So let's just say hypothetically you take the Bucks, right, at plus 500 to win the Super Bowl. They're plus 225 to win the NFC. So I'm just trying to put it all together and see.
You're trying to find those value gaps, right?
Yeah.
Like the Cowboys, I believe, don't have the same odds as the Rams to win the Super Bowl, but they do have similar odds
to win the NFC, which is interesting, right? Man. Huh.
Yeah, it's those weird inequities, right?
Yeah, they're both tied
odds to win the Super Bowl.
They're both at plus 600 to win the NFC, but then you're getting 200 points more juice on the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl than you are Arizona to win the Super Bowl. I mean, call your shot now. Who's playing in the Super Bowl? Who's making it? Call your shot now. Who do you think it is?
That's tough, man. I think that the Patriots are going to win the AFC.
You do?
And I think
you think New England's going to win the AFC?
And I think that Green Bay is going to win the NFC. I honestly do.
You think New England's going to win the AFC? You really believe that?
Yeah, they're the front runners right now. They have a slightly tough schedule, but it's not that bad. They got to beat Indy, which will be a tough game, but I think they can force Carson Wentz to maybe make a few bad throws, force some turnovers. Then they got to beat Buffalo, right? Buffalo at home, though, so we'll see how that game goes, and they're still way ahead of Buffalo in the standings. Jacksonville and Miami. All I need is for the Chargers to beat Kansas City, and it's basically over for the number 1 seed because the Patriots can afford to lose one game if KC loses, and that's it. The only thing I have to be fearful of, and I have to check it real quickly, is Tennessee's schedule because it could be.
I'm not, but I don't give a damn who they play. I'm not buying into Tennessee. I'm not
saying that they
Deontay Foreman.
No. So they got to play the Steelers, the 49ers. The Dolphins and the Texans. The problem is they could win all those games.
They could lose 2 of them too. They can lose to the Steelers and the Dolphins. Hell, they could lose.
It's the 49er game. They have to lose the 49ers. That's a big game. But Miami and the Texans, they're not going to pose much of a threat. Miami could maybe beat them. But that's the only problem is Tennessee has so many wins right now. And they have such a cupcake schedule that they have a shot to get a high seed.
I think they're going to be one and done. I think they're one and done. I think they're one and done. I don't buy Tennessee at all.
But the problem is at the bottom, right? They'll play a Cincinnati, a Buffalo, or
I think Cincinnati.
Indy,
I think Cincinnati could get with Tennessee. I think Cincinnati offensively could get with Tennessee. I think Cincinnati's scary to me because offensively they can score. They can run the ball. They've got 3 very capable pass catchers, and they got a quarterback who just doesn't care. He will chuck it. Cincinnati, where's Cincinnati at on this AFC?
They're far down, man. They're far
20
down.
to
7
1.
and 6,
Yeah, I'm not
only
that.
one game out of winning division. Only one game out.
Yeah, I'm not bold enough to say Cincinnati's going to win the AFC this year, but I think they're one of those. I think they're one of those teams that could get in the playoffs and win a game. I really do. I think Cincy can win a game.
If they get hot, they could do it for sure.
I think Cincy can win a game.
Gotta get hot.
Yeah, and apparently, and we talked about this yesterday, King Henry's supposed to be back for the playoffs, which is just insane.
Not good.
But
not good.
Insane, but it's Derrick Henry. All right, NFL MVP. The front runner by a wide margin is Tom Brady at -175, followed by Aaron Rodgers at +500. All you Kyler Murray people who kept telling me Kyler Murray's going to win it, I told you no, he's not, and he's probably not. That loss this past weekend, this past Monday, was not pretty for Kyler Murray. +1,200. Matt Stafford +14, Dak 14, Patrick Mahomes 14, Justin Herbert 16-1, and Josh Allen tumbling down the man. What a fall from grace. Josh Allen 20-1. It's not happening. Yeah. This award is Tom Brady's award to lose. It's Thomas Edward Patrick Brady the second or the third, whatever his damn name is. It's his award to lose. Like it's I don't know why this was so hard for people to see. Like even after week 1, and we're on here talking about, I'm like, why are people not putting money on Tom Brady at 14-1, at 12-1, at 15-1? I did lay a couple of units on Tom Brady.
I was gonna say, easy to say when you got the ticket, right?
Yeah, it's very easy to say when you got the ticket at 14-1. But it was a story like this team was set up to be very good offensively, and right now Tom Brady is on track for his greatest statistical season of all time that he's ever had. Like he's on pace for that. He's pacing for 50 touchdowns, 5,000 passing yards, leading his team to the number 1 seed in the NFC potentially at 44 years old. Yeah, that sounds like the MVP to me, Jay. That sounds like the MVP to me. This one was one of the easier, from day one. I think from the first day we started the show, I was like, Tom Brady's going to win the MVP. I put a couple of dollars here and there on Josh Allen at one point in time. I put, a quarter of a unit on Dak Prescott just to throw it out there, but I laid money on on Tom Brady to win NFL MVP. And I think as long as he finishes the season out, what's Tampa Bay's schedule? Pull up Tampa Bay's rest of the season.
New Orleans, Carolina twice, and I forget what
they got the Jets, right? And they got the Jets.
The
Jets.
It's the Jets.
So they've got the Saints. That is
Saints at home,
Saints
Carolina
at home
twice, and then the Jets, I believe, on the road.
I mean, come on, dude.
It's pretty easy.
Pretty easy. When is that Jets game? I'm hoping it's not week
17.
Good Lord. The fantasy championship week, and I got to deal with that in a couple of leagues. That's not fun. Hopefully they rest them. Maybe they've locked up the number 1 seed and they rest them, but I don't think Bruce Arians. The fact that they were playing throughout the preseason, like even preseason game 1, I doubt BA is going to rest any of his guys. But Tom Brady,
close to the top.
Yeah, in my opinion, is there any? Would you go?
It's just
any
Stafford
other?
For me. It's literally just Stafford. I think he's the only one who can unseat Brady. And like you said, he has to win the NFC. He has to. And I don't know who has the tiebreak. But I know that the Rams.
It would have to be the Rams, right?
Yeah, well, it's weird. NFL rules for tiebreaks are weird. Like I think it comes down to divisional record. I don't think it just goes straight to head like you think of because not all teams play each other, right? So it might be divisional record or whatever it is. So again, Tampa Bay may still have the edge in that regard. But yeah, I think Stafford coming to LA, first season, Sean McVay, big market, la la land, as they say in the media business. That's the only narrative that I see that could play out outside of obviously Tom Brady. But like you said, he's going to need some work with that cupcake schedule. He's going to need the Saints to probably beat down Tom Brady this weekend if he wants that to happen. But that's the only value I see. I don't see it out of Kyler. Don't see it out of Dak. Don't see it out of Patrick Mahomes or Herbert or any of them. It's Brady or it's Stafford to me. And I think those are the only 2 guys who really have a shot right now.
So do you think Brady has a shot to break the single season passing yards record? 5,477 yards.
I don't think so. I don't know what he's at now or where he's pacing at, but I don't think so. He's had a couple dud games.
That's
not that Because that's Breeze's record, isn't it?
No, that's Peyton. He needs 1,500.
Peyton's record.
He needs 1,300 yards in. Oof.
So 400 a game. I don't think he's breaking the record.
Yeah, he's not gonna do it. But I'm with you. I think the NFL MVP. It's Tom Brady's award to lose. Like honestly, I don't think Aaron Rodgers can play as good as he wants. I don't think.
Yeah, he's not getting it.
They're not going to give it to him.
Especially after getting it last year. He's not.
Yeah, they're not going to give it to Aaron Rodgers. All right, let's go over to Offensive Player of the Year. Cooper Kupp and Jonathan J. Come on, Jonathan Taylor, Robert Woods. What are you doing, Robert?
Oh my God, Robert Woods.
You are setting me up.
I love Robert Woods, man.
You are setting me up to fail.
I just miss Robert Woods. That's just what happens, you know. Sometimes when you're making a
Jonathan Taylor,
it would be nice to see Robert Woods in here.
1.5 to 1 odds, and Cooper Kupp plus 125.
Who's gonna win? Call your shot.
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp.
I mean, he's got damn near 1,500 receiving yards right now. He's got a real shot at going over 2K receiving yards. Like,
yeah, we talked about Justin Jefferson, and here we are. Cooper Kupp actually has a real shot, which is hilarious.
Cooper Kupp probably is going to go over 2,000 receiving yards. I mean, yeah, he's 500.
Do it, eh?
He's 500. Yeah, he's 500 away. He's 500 away right now. All he needs to do is go for 100 and something, 100 and some change, which is
130.
That's doable. 130 a game. That's doable. That's doable for Kupp. I think he's going to push for it. Does he get it? I don't know, but I think the record is 1964 by Calvin Johnson. I think.
Oh, is that the record? Really? I thought it was 2000.
Nah, I think it's 1964 by Calvin Johnson. I think it's 1964.
Right.
But I do think Cooper Kupp is going to win Offensive Player of the Year. Just incredible. 127 yards per game, like you said. He's got Seattle, Minnesota, Baltimore, San Francisco. San Francisco just got lit up by the Bengals. Baltimore is not good at all defending the pass this year. Minnesota,
terrible.
No,
just god awful.
And Seattle is the worst. Is the worst. They are like the worst. So. There's a potential 200-yard game in there for Cooper Kupp, which would definitely help his odds. But I think he's going to win Offensive Player of the Year. And the best for last, Defensive Player of the Year. And thank God you got these names right so I can keep the graphic up a little bit longer. But here we go. We got Micah Parsons, TJ Watt, and Myles Garrett. And this one has seemed to cause the most dissension amongst the social media space. Because there's one side of the coin that's like Aaron Donald is the best player in football, the best defender. There's a lot of subliminal shots being thrown at old GQ because of my love and affinity for Michael Parsons. But odds makers see it exactly the way I've been saying it for 7 weeks now. That Michael Parsons should have been in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. And now he's right behind the front runners, Myles Garrett and TJ Watt. We know TJ Watt missed last week's game with a groin injury. Don't know what his injury prognosis is and where he's looking, what he's looking like for this week and beyond. But I know Micah Parsons has gone 6 straight games with a sack. He's got 102 tackles, 22 tackles for a loss, and 14 sacks on the season as a rookie edge rusher / linebacker. Incredible for this young man, and he's only 50 points behind Myles Garrett and TJ Watt. I think it's going to come down to the fact that Dallas is going to win the NFC East. Dallas still has a shot at the number 1 seed in the NFC, and Micah Parsons is going to continue to wreak havoc amongst the players that the teams he's got to face. You get the Giants twice and Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts likes to scramble around. He's probably good for a sack or two in that one. He's got Mike Glennon twice. He's got Kyler Murray, who takes quite a few sacks. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility that Micah Parsons finishes his rookie season with 20 damn sacks in his rookie season, playing on a team that wins the NFC. Pittsburgh's not going to the playoff. Cleveland probably not a playoff team, and if so, they squeak in as the final wild card seed. I think the narrative in the story is the first player since 1981, and that player that would present Micah with the award would be none other than the greatest football player that people say of all time in Lawrence Taylor. He'd be the first rookie to win that award since Lawrence Taylor in 1981. Talk about a storyline just gifted. Dallas Cowboys, rookie, Lawrence Taylor, Defensive Player of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. What we're witnessing right now, the fact that these are the odds for Micah Parsons should show you just how incredibly special this young man is. And the NFL can't pass up a good story, especially when it's coming from America's team. I'm still rolling with Micah Parsons. I think he wins the award.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I think you laid it out perfectly. It's going to be the storyline for Micah Parsons, and these odds reflect just how much pressure the media is pushing, or the NFL is pushing, to get Micah Parsons this award, because TJ Watt, Myles Garrett have been ahead for the whole season. TJ Watt's 3.5 sack performance 2 weeks ago really vaulted him again back into the conversation. But Micah Parsons has been doing this all season long. From week 1, you said it, and even I've talked about it throughout the year. It's the defense being so improved is the reason why Dallas are contenders no matter what. And that is entirely due to Micah Parsons. The game on Thanksgiving, in overtime, Micah Parsons stops the run first play, sack on second down. Third down, Anthony Brown allows a 30-yard PA, or DPI. All of a sudden, the Cowboys lose. The only reason they were in that game was because of Micah Parsons. The only reason why they're in a lot of games is because of Micah Parsons. So that's the main reason why I think he's got a great shot. And all the other storylines with Dallas, Dak not playing very well, defense carrying them, number 1 seed in the NFC East. I think you laid it out perfectly. And, Myles Garrett, at some point, he's going to win one. Aaron Donald has 4. I don't think he needs another one. It could easily go to Micah Parsons, and no one's going to bat an eye.
Well, I mean, and right now I'm looking up TJ Watt, and they just said the only thing that I can find is what we already talked about. He was ruled out after halftime, out. He's not coming back in. I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm assuming that's not good when they just rule you out. Let's get you out of this game. Maybe it was a byproduct of Minnesota just already running it down their throats, and they were like, let's just pull them. I don't think Tomlin and the Steelers would do that. But again, Pittsburgh's not going to make the playoffs. Dallas will make the playoffs. And if TJ Watt misses another game, that's just another opportunity for Micah Parsons to wow the NFL with another play, to wow, the people who make those votes. And I think he's got enough steam and juice behind him. A couple of more sacks. He's going to break Javon Curse's rookie sack record. That's a given. He's going to break that. He is going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, that's locked up. What's crazy about this Parsons line is not even 14 days ago. Not even 14, I think 10 days ago. You know what his odds were 10 days ago?
Probably like 50 to 1.
55 to 1. Plus 5,500. Just
That's
not even 10 days ago. And it dropped.
It took one game.
It took one game for him to go from 55 to 1 to 3.5 to 1. That's crazy. And I think the good thing working in Parsons' favor is I don't think Diggs is going to receive many first-place votes to win that award.
No.
I mean, he's going to be an All-Pro. He's going to be a Pro Bowler, first-team All-Pro, but he's not. I think anybody who watches Dallas, they see it's number 11 that's causing the havoc, that's allowing the back end to play so freely. I think it's Micah Parsons. I've been saying it for weeks. I said he should be in the conversation. I think he's going to win the award, and I'm glad I got some. I laid something on him while the odds were still favorable. So
come on, tell the people, what do you got?
I got a couple of units on him, but I got it at plus. I got it at 30 to 1. So I feel good about it.
Looking good.
I feel good about it. My future bets have hit. The future bets have hit. It started with Bryce Young. Jonathan Taylor, I got that locked in for him to lead the league in rushing, which is good. And I had a couple of other. I showed you my bet slip the other day. It's a bunch of stuff on there. But I do think Parsons is going to win Defensive Player of the Year. Where are you at? What's your prediction? Do you think he gets it, or are they going to give it to Watt? Are they going to do the veteran treatment and give it to one of the elder statesmen?
I think that he's got a shot. I don't think he's got as good of a shot as maybe the odds are saying he does. Because I do think that there is some bias towards a Myles Garrett. I think that TJ Watt, being a Watt brother, gives him some votes.
I think that does too.
Right? I think that's a factor. And as stupid as that sounds, that's just the way the NFL is. That
he's a Watt brother.
Being a Watt brother.
It's
so different than being a Bosa brother, right? Being a Bosa brother means something in the NFL. Yeah. I think being a Watt brother means something as well. JJ, I think as well, has 3 or 4 Defensive Player of the Years, and I may be a little bit hyperbole there. I don't know exactly how many he has. I know that Donald has 4 because I looked it up. But I think that Watt, and even last year, he kind of deserved it as well. Or did he get it? No. Who got it last year?
No, Watt didn't win one. Watt has not won one.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
People said he should have won it last year. Yeah.
And then now it's Garrett and Watt again. I don't think Garrett has one either. So we'll see what happens. But I think Micah has a shot. I think he's got a shot for sure.
And real quick, since we got some time, comeback player of the year. Right now, it's Dak Prescott minus 1,000, I believe.
Really?
And then, I still think it's Dak minus 1,000. Let me see. DK Sportsbook.
Because that's the problem, right? We made this case earlier in the day for Cincinnati. How is it that they can win? And with the way that Dak is trending right now, it's just not looking good, man. It's not looking good. He may win comeback player of the year because of Micah Parsons, basically, because he's carrying this Dallas team to 9-4. And then you have, Joe Burrow on the other end sitting at 7-6 right now in Cincinnati, but on the precipice of potentially winning this division in the AFC North. And that is kind of the case I will make for comeback player of the year for Joe Burrow, because he is as well coming off a major injury and is looking pretty good. He's been a little shaky, throwing a lot of picks, but Dak isn't, from a standpoint of throwing interceptions, Dak isn't really much better.
Yeah, Dak is minus 1,000. Burrow's odds have come in a little bit as well. They were plus 700. Now they're plus 600. You got Wentz at plus 1,400. James Conner at plus 2,500. Shot for Burrow. I laid a little bit on Burrow. I think if they win the AFC North and Dak continues to struggle, I think there's a good case for Joe Burrow. And real quick, NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. Right now, Mac Jones, the clear favorite at minus 500, and Jamar Chase at plus 350. Again,
you're going to be cashing tickets this year, baby.
I said it back in July. I said it back. Dude, I looked at the comments when I posted that bet slip, and so much shade and shame about me wasting money, me burning money. It's stories, man. And the story that I kept telling with Mac Jones is I believed he was going to win the starting quarterback job. I said New England's going to be a team that pushes for a playoff spot, and these awards traditionally go to quarterbacks. Now, not only is he pushing for the number a bye in the first round, he's outplayed every other rookie quarterback when he wasn't supposed to. He's going to win the award. Yeah. I think had Jamar Chase kept up that torrid pace that he was on to start the season, there would have been a really good case. But he had 5 weeks where he did nothing, like 5 straight weeks where he did nothing. And even this past game, the touchdown saved him again. He had 77 yards, but it was the 2 touchdowns that really saved him. It's going to be Mac Jones. As long as they hold the ship and win the AFC East and, potentially push for the number 1 seed, it's going to be Mac Jones. So you can't get any more juice on that. He's minus 500. So that is a wrap. There we go. And I see Stone, comeback player of the year. I think there's a shot. I'd put something on it.
There's a shot.
Plus 600. I think there's I did it. I did. I'm not just telling y'all shit that I wouldn't do or haven't done. I got money on Joe Burrow. Am I lying, Jay? Got money on Joe Burrow.
You got money on Joe Burrow
and Dak Prescott, so I'm covered either way.
Oh yeah,
I'm good either way.
One of them.
And I got it when the odds were good, so I'm good either way. Like, whichever one wins it, I'll be fine. But yeah, good show, man. Good show. We'll get into the Thursday night game. Let's see what Evan said. Hedge Burrow, comeback player of the year with Dak, early season tickets, so I'm winning for it. Yeah, same here. Like if you hedge the right way, if you get it with the odds are good with those 2 players, you could hedge and you'll be good either way. Smart stuff, Evan. I do it all the time, baby. You got to hedge. But we appreciate you tapping by. Tomorrow we will get into the Chiefs and Chargers matchup. That should be an awesome one. Take a look at our Fab 5. And, just bets we like, props we like. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the podcast. Wake up with us tomorrow morning. We'll be back. I'm out of this thing. Peace.